The storm had passed, leaving the small town glistening under a tentative morning sun. Puddles reflected the pale light, and the air smelled of wet earth and pine. Ethan Brooks, a single father who had known far too much heartache, was driving back from his night shift at the auto repair shop. His hands were greasy, his eyes heavy from exhaustion, yet something made him slow down. On the side of the rain-soaked road, a small figure shivered. Tiny red shoes, caked with mud, peeked from beneath a once-pink dress now streaked with dirt. Her hair clung to her tear-streaked face. Ethan's heart skipped. He hit the brakes, the tires squealing against the wet asphalt. The girl looked up, her wide hazel eyes filled with fear. I can't find my mommy," she whispered. Those words hit Ethan harder than the storm ever could. He saw in her eyes the raw, unfiltered terror of a child who had been alone too long. Without a second thought, he opened the truck door and wrapped his old, worn jacket around her small frame. "You're safe now, sweetheart," he said softly. "I'll help you find her." She nestled into his arms like she'd known him forever. Her name was Lily, she said. She didn't remember where she came from, only that her mother's car had gone boom, flames everywhere. A chill ran down Ethan's spine as he turned on the radio. The news confirmed it. A luxury car had crashed on Highway 47. One woman missing, possibly swept into a nearby river. No names, no survivors confirmed yet. Driving home with Lily asleep beside him, Ethan's thoughts wandered to his own daughter, Emma, who had died from leukemia 3 years ago. Seeing Lily, alive but frightened, was like staring into a mirror of what could have been. The ache in his chest, buried for years beneath the noise of daily survival, came rushing back. His home, a small wooden house at the edge of town, was humble but warm. He set Lily down, made her cocoa, and wrapped her in a blanket. She relaxed slowly, letting out a sigh that seemed to erase a little of the tension in the room. Her innocence, her quiet trust, felt almost sacred to Ethan. He couldn't take her to the authorities yet, not while she was shaking and calling for her mother in her sleep. He promised himself just one night to keep her safe. Morning brought golden sunlight streaming through the curtains. Lily giggled at Ethan, watching him fumble with the pancakes. "You're funny," she said, eyes sparkling with trust. Ethan laughed, the sound light and unguarded. It had been a long time since he had laughed like that. Days turned into a week. The police had issued alerts about a missing girl tied to a luxury car accident involving businesswoman Rebecca Hale, but there were no leads. Ethan left a message at the station, but no one called back. The small-town sheriff department was often swamped, and he suspected the case might be too big for them. Yet, deep down, he hesitated. Part of him didn't want to let Lily go. He had started tucking her in at night, listening to her excited chatter about painting, taking her to the park where she ran barefoot through the grass. Emma's old toys, once gathering dust, were brought back to life in Lily's hands. Her laughter filled his home, a sound he hadn't realized he'd missed so desperately. But guilt tugged at him. He wasn't her father. Somewhere out there, her mother must be crying, searching, desperate. One chilly evening, as he fixed a broken shelf, Lily asked quietly, "Do you think my mommy's looking for me?" "I'm sure she is," Ethan said softly. "And until she finds you, I'll keep you safe." Fate, however, had its own plans. The next morning, a knock came that echoed through the house like thunder. 2 men in black suits stood outside, their polished cars gleaming in the sunlight. "Mr. Ethan Brooks," one asked. "We're with the Hale Foundation Security Division. We believe you are in possession of a missing child, Rebecca Hale's daughter." Ethan froze. Lily peeked from behind him, small fingers clutching his sleeve. The men's stern expression softened as they saw her. "We're not here to cause trouble," one said quietly. Before Ethan could respond, a sleek black SUV pulled up behind them. The door opened, and out stepped a woman with trembling hands, red eyes from sleepless nights. Even in her disheveled state, she was stunning. Blonde hair pulled back hastily, oversized coat, no makeup. Her presence was commanding, yet broken. "Lily," she whispered, collapsing to her knees. The little girl hesitated, then ran forward. "Mommy," she cried, burying her face in the woman's arms. Ethan felt a mixture of joy and a deep ache for himself as he turned to busy himself with his tools. Rebecca Hale's voice trembled. "You saved her, didn't you?" "I just did what anyone would have done," Ethan said. "No, not anyone," she replied softly, shaking her head. "Most would have called the police and walked away. But you cared. You stayed." 3 days later, Rebecca returned, alone this time, holding a small box. "Can I come in?" she asked. They sat at his table, the faint smell of pancakes lingering. "Lily talks about you all the time," Rebecca said. The man who made her pancakes, who told her bedtime stories about stars. Ethan smiled faintly. Her eyes softened as she opened the box, revealing a framed photo of a man holding a baby. "That's my husband," she said quietly. "He died 3 years ago. Plane crash. Lily was all I had left. When the accident happened, I thought I'd lost her too. I couldn't bear it." Ethan nodded slowly, understanding the kind of pain that hollowed a person out. Then Rebecca said something that made his chest tighten. "There's something you need to know about Lily, about you." She took a deep breath. "Before my husband died, he told me something. He wasn't sure, but he believed Lily wasn't biologically ours. We used a donor when I couldn't conceive. Recently, I got the DNA results back." She looked directly at Ethan. "The donor was you." The world seemed to stop. Ethan stared at her, stunned. That can't be." Rebecca slid the DNA confirmation across the table. "I traced it back. Your file from a fertility clinic 8 years ago when you were in college. You donated once, probably forgot." Ethan's hands trembled. He looked at Lily, asleep beside him, and then back at the papers. "You mean she's mine?" "Yes," Rebecca whispered. For a long moment, there was silence. Two broken souls, both shaped by loss, understood each other in a way words could not reach. Tears welled in Ethan's eyes. "I didn't tell you sooner because I wasn't sure you'd want anything to do with us. But seeing how Lily looks at you, she feels something deep, something real." Months passed. The bond between Ethan and Lily grew naturally. Rebecca brought her to visit every weekend. They painted, fished, and laughed until dusk settled over the hills. Lily began calling Ethan Dad without hesitation, giggling every time. One evening, as the sky blazed crimson, Rebecca and Ethan stood on the porch watching Lily chase fireflies. "You know," Rebecca said softly, "when I lost my husband, I thought I'd never love again. But life has a strange way of returning what we think is gone forever." Ethan smiled, eyes glistening as Lily ran past him. "Maybe this was meant to be," he whispered. It wasn't just a discovery of blood that filled Ethan's heart. It was hope. Life had returned a chance to be a father in the most unexpected form. And as the stars rose above them that night, Lily pointed up and asked softly, "Dad, do you think the stars are where angels live?" Ethan's eyes softened, a full smile spreading across his face. "I think the stars, our love,